Hey, sippers and spillers. Welcome back to another Saturday with Black Coffee with a Side of Tea. I'm your girl, Latriva Deneen. We have a wonderful show lined up for you, great guests. So let me get my friends and my co-hosts in today. We have Lisa, the boss lady. Hey, Lisa.
Happy Saturday, gorgeous Saturday.
Oh, isn't it beautiful outside?
It's beautiful.
Awesome. And then Lisa Danae, where are you?
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing out there?
Good. I'm so excited, ladies. I haven't seen y'all in a week.
Yes, I know, right?
And so much has happened. So, of course, I got to know how my sisters are doing. I haven't seen y'all. How was your week? I'm going to start with Lisa Danae because her birthday is in a few weeks.
Well, my week has been really good. Some very interesting developments in my life that, I haven't really shared with anyone, but we shall see if I share. But I would just say there's been some really good things going on. And, when things happen and they're really good, you just be like, be like, is this really happening? Let me just ponder on this, Let me just what did the Bible say? Mary says she pondered in her heart. She pondered in her heart. I haven't been impregnated by the Holy Spirit or nothing like that, like Mary did. But it feels like something just as miraculous. Okay. But listen, I'm just pondering it. Like I said, I don't even want to speak on it. Right. We're just, I'll share when it's time to share. But thank God for a good week. It's been really great.
Yeah. Awesome. I love those earrings. I saw you.
Thank you.
Boss. So we're gonna move to the boss lady. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Good week, mama.
It's been an awesome week. I just feel that everything is being aligned the way that it's supposed to go. I feel like doors are opening, they're supposed to open. I feel like opportunities are presenting themselves. They need to present themselves. And I am all for it.
That is incredible. So let me ask, this is new. So what was one thing that either made you fall out laughing this week or something that made you go, oh?
You listen, I'm a bleeding heart.
I know it.
So I do medical records for a company, not an insurance company necessarily, but we're a company. And I logged in and I got a fax with medical records for one of my members. And when I was going to upload her medical records to close her case, I saw a message from her husband that she passed away in her sleep. And I was like, no, my patient. Yeah. And it's been a day. Like literally, I only had her since the previous day, but I felt like that was my sister.
Oh, wow.
It hit me, you know, and then they were like, that's going to happen. What we do, it's going to happen. You're going to lose your patients. And I'm like, oh, I hadn't even spoken with her, text her or anything, but that's how I felt.
Yeah. So, well, bless your heart, Lisa.
So everybody, please be aware of the time you have here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for me, let me lighten up the mood a little bit. Something that made me just really laugh this week was I was watching television with my son, my youngest, he's 11, and we were watching something, and it was a group of kids going into the woods. It was a horror, thing, and the music started, and it was done. So they look, and he said, that's why everybody need a black friend, because if the black friend was there, the black friend would have said, something ain't right, we need to go this way. I was laughing so hard because he's 11. And I'm like, how do you know this?
Right. How you put that together of all the things?
It's true.
So the thing that made me laugh this week was, hey, Miss Mimi. The thing that made me laugh this week was, so my this is spring break. We're going into spring break. So this was basically, oh Lord, you really mean my report cards coming out, miss? Can I still pass? Right. So I'm getting all these mails, all of these promises for treats. And so I got two messages. One, somebody was like, hey, first that email was like, can I turn in my work late? No, we're not there yet, but you can come to my makeup tutorial and we'll get you on your track. So then they emailed me back and was like, what kind of Girl Scout cookies you like? I was like, Thin Mint. It's like, my little sister selling Girl Scout cookies and we got some extras. I was like, okay, but they didn't complete the transaction by making an ask. So as far as I'm concerned, I got some cookies coming and he's still failing. So I thought that was hilarious that he did not quite finish what he was going for. He was just like, I got you. And I was like, come on, a 7th grader. I need you to.
Yes.
You're not even walking away with nothing, friend. I died. I was like, these 7th graders, these middle schoolers.
That's hilarious.
What kind of Girl Scout cookies you like? Okay, so we're excited. We have a great guest here on our show today. I've learned that her beautiful name is Miss LaFlower.
Yes.
Miss LaFlower. And I'm so excited to introduce her to our community. We're going to talk to her when we come back right after this break.
Are you looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle but have less than perfect credit? Look no further than Mi Amigo Motors, offering in-house financing to help you build or reestablish your credit. All vehicles are put through a multi-point inspection, and their award-winning customer service and on-site service center will make your buying experience stress-free. I know you got your stimulus check and it's tax refund season, so stop by Mi Amigo Motors today at 9729 Long Point Road or give them a call at 832-548-5927 to reserve your appointment for their VIP approval. Again, that's 832-548-5927. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio send you.
And we are back with Black Coffee with a Side of Tea. And so we're going to bring in our guest, Miss LaFlower, and just learn what Miss Bowie has going on. Welcome to the table. How are you?
I am amazing, ladies. How's everybody doing? I'm super excited to be here.
Awesome. So I will let Lisa, the boss lady, give you a little bit of a formal introduction as she is your connection to our team here. So Miss Boss Lady, what can you tell us about LaFlower?
That's my flower.
That's my flower.
She is a dynamic woman of God, inspirational speaker, motivator, into healthy moms, into working moms, mompreneurs. She is all of that, and an author, as well as a mom of 8. Is it 8? 8.
Wow.
Yes. She has a brand new baby. So she does all of that with a brand new baby.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Let's just sit there for a
Look
second.
at Lisa's face.
Let's just take it back a little.
Right?
That is incredible. Well, we definitely want to know how you have all of these things going and you are still here, made up, beautiful smile, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. So you definitely have some things to share with us and our listeners.
Right? She has all her hair.
Absolutely. So tell us what it is that has inspired you to just kind of keep going with all of these things and just adding to your list.
Of course. So I am a firm believer that we are a student of life and that we should continue to evolve and to grow. And with being a mom, it's like, I know that my mom was my first like superhero, right? Mm-hmm. And so I want to be that same superhero for my kids, but I want to take it to a whole nother stratosphere. I want to let them know you can be in corporate America, you can be an entrepreneur, you can, be a stay-at-home mom. Mm-hmm. Whatever you decide to do, you have the capability to do so.
So you said your mom was like your superhero, of course. They offer us, right? So right. What were some of the things give me one thing that you remember like your mom doing that you were like, I want to make sure that I give this to my children?
my mom was she still is, she's such a hard worker. It's like
Mhm.
when you put a task in front of her, she's going to do it.
Awesome.
And she is an amazing creative. She minored in art. So just her creativity and how she's able to just put things together, make something that literally out of nothing. It always amazed me.
So how did you always want to be a mom? Like, did you leave high school? Like, how did you move to this place? So, like, just tell us your story.
Sure. So I did not want to be a mom.
Okay.
I did not want to be married. I still owe both of my sisters about $1,000 because I made a bet with them when I was a young teenager, saying that I don't want kids. I don't want this marriage thing. Like, I don't want it. But God saw fit for other things. And when my husband and I, because this is both of our second marriages, we have a blended family, but I've naturally had 7 children. I've carried 7 of our 8. We really take on our kingdom values and really just raising good, amazing people.
Yeah.
And that's where we are now. We just keep growing. I don't know if Riley's our last one. I think she might be, but that really just really the kingdom mindset. And because there's so much bad out here in the world, there's so much negative things, and we always see the crazy stuff that people are doing. But I know for this household, we are producing some amazing people for the world that we live in.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Wow.
For the people who don't know or understand, explain what kingdom values means and what it is.
Right. So, of course, I'm a believer of the Trinity, of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. But what I do understand is that when it comes to the kingdom mindset, it's just really our focus should be, God told us to have dominion and to multiply. I'll make it simple. He said, have dominion and to multiply. And so with those 2 things, we want to teach our kids to have dominion over the kingdom that God has granted you within your household, and to multiply. I mean, to pass those same values and morals and kingdom beliefs onto your children.
And also for the people who don't have children, does that still apply?
Absolutely. So God told us to also be the light. We are the light, right? I know for me and the family that I'm raising, and a lot of people within our community, sometimes we're the only Jesus that some people are going to see. So for people who don't have children, how you maneuver through your life, you're the light of the kingdom. So the way you love, the way you care, the way you give, all of that shows people how amazing God is.
And then also for those who have children, and I just thought about this when you were talking, does it stop at your child, or does it also continue into the other children that you meet or other people that you meet? Because sometimes people are like, well, I didn't raise mine. I ain't got nothing to do with me.
Oh no, it absolutely does not. I'm a firm believer in the village mentality, the community, raising the children. And my kids know, like, if their friend is a friend of theirs, then they know that I'm going to rock for their friends just as much as I rock for my own. And if they're doing something out of line, then I'm going to raise my hand and I'm going to say something in a very respectful manner. But I do think that we all have to play a part in how a lot of our kids are being raised these days.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like what you said. I'm sorry, Miss Mimi, to cut you off, but I like what you said about we're raising some amazing individuals for the world. Because I think people look at the world and all the problems, don't realize you got some control, you got some hand in this.
Yes.
If you raise better humans, we'll have better humans in this world.
That's
you
it.
know?
Right.
Absolutely.
Someone else, Miss Mimi?
Go ahead.
Oh,
yes.
Amen.
So I'm interested in understanding, because what I also remember Lisa mentioning was you had this incredible entrepreneurial spirit. So tell us how your entrepreneurship was born and what sorts of services you provide, or what sorts of ways you are being an entrepreneur in the world.
Gotcha. Sure. So I believe I was born with an entrepreneur spirit in my blood, because on both sides of my family, my grandfather was a farmer. My dad opened in the 80s. He opened a fitness in a fitness gym in a boutique for my mom before the big fitness boom hit. And so it's always been things that I've always seen growing up. And so before I even enrolled in college, once I graduated high school, I started a business. But also knew that I wanted to be able to leverage my income from corporate America to help build sustainable wealth, but also have multiple streams of income. And so right now, I got a lot of things going on, so I'm a certified life coach. I do inner healing work. I coach and train other life coaches. I'm an author. My husband and I are in real estate. I've been in network marketing for over 18, 19 years now. Oh my gosh, it sounds crazy to say that. And let's see what else. I think that's almost it. So yeah.
That's enough.
And have you found that you've been able to maintain your central faith compass as you have built these businesses, and even in corporate America when you spend time? Have you found that you have had to compromise anything around your faith, or that your faith has been more of a compass for you?
Great question. Oh my goodness. So I would say in my earlier years, when it was all about chasing the bag and chasing the money, and Lisa and I have had this discussion about the mindset of the hustle. So I would say in the past, yes, I have been like, I'm getting the bag no matter what.
Right.
I have been a single mom. I have been divorced, going through all of that. And I'm like, my kids don't have nobody but me. Mm-hmm. But when I truly decided to fully surrender to God, I realized that I was working for things that the favor that was already upon my life could have provided. That's the income, the money. It's like we've had $10,000 months, we've had $20,000 months. It's like my income in corporate America. Not to brag or boast or anything like that, but I dropped out of college. But I've made more. My salary was more than people who have gotten 2 or 3 degrees. Mm. And so I realized that when I sit back and I don't compromise my faith, and I call it calibration. That's one of my coaching things that I have. I call it the calibration. And the calibration keeps you centered with your faith, with your kingdom calling and your kingdom assignment, because it can be crazy out here. Right. It can be crazy out here, and we can get distracted very easily. And the other thing that I do, I implement sabbatical in my life often. And that's when I rest, reflect, and I rejuvenate. Mm-hmm. And by taking that sabbatical constantly, I'm able to always pause. I call it the holy pause as well. And that holy pause keeps me calibrated to my calling, where I'm not focused on the money. I'm focused on what God put me here to do. And the money is a byproduct and a tool to fulfill my earthly assignment.
Awesome. Did we just have church in here?
I was getting ready to say.
Yes. Amen. And so, question, tell us about, you said surrendering, because a lot of times when because I know for me, before I really started studying and all that and wanting to have my personal relationship with God, when people would say surrender, I'd be like, yeah, so that's not gonna be me. It looks like on the other end, that fear of the unknown thing. So tell us what it was like. Was it scary for you? Was it one of those, I'm gonna test the waters first? Was it, what?
I got you, Ms. Mimi. So we know that surrender and submission are 2 words that are extremely scary, especially for us as women, right? But the surrender means, I like to put it in this analogy. You know how a lot of times we quote the scripture, write the vision and make it plain. Mm-hmm. And what we do, we write down our vision that we want God to fulfill, instead of reversing that and say, God, you give me the vision that you have for my life. Mm-hmm. That's when you fully surrender. You tell me what you put me here to do. And it's not me saying, well, I want to be this. I want to make this amount of money. I want to be this in corporate America. I need to be this. It's just fully surrender and say, you know what? I'm giving this all to you. I'm not going to rob Peter to pay Paul no more. I'm not going to do any of those things. I'm fully surrendering everything to you, and you have your way in my life.
And that's hard because, most of the time what God has for you, you don't want to do.
Right.
And it's not like, I'm just saying, it's not like you're not equipped because he wouldn't have you do something you're not equipped to do. Sometimes you're perfectly equipped. It's just not your thing. You just would rather be doing something else.
Yeah.
I agree. And I think that we've allowed culture to influence our desires so much, which makes it so hard. But when I realized, when I disconnected myself from the culture that we live in, when I really understood being able to live in the world but not of the world, my surrender became a whole lot more easier, because the physical things and the material things don't matter. They're I enjoy them. Like, I enjoy the home that I live in. I enjoy the cars, but they don't matter. My title at work doesn't matter. My title in my business, the ranks that I'm hitting, that I'm running for, they don't matter anymore, because everything I see is an assignment. It's like, okay, God, where do you want me to go now? What do you want me to go? Do you want me to go work at this job for 2 years? Okay, I'll do that. Do you want me to work this business for a little bit? I'll do that, because I know that all of my desires will be fulfilled as long as I stay calibrated to my calling.
I just want to say real quick, sorry, Latricia, but you know, for me, it's like this. I love God. I just got a problem with his people. So it seemed like
You better
God,
say it.
it's like he always want me to deal with people. And I'd be like, can't we just have a lateral, just me and you?
You.
I'm just saying that's my biggest hang up with the whole surrender thing. Sorry, Latricia.
You're fine. So my question has to do with the disconnection you mentioned. So you said when you were able to disconnect from the culture, you were able to connect and find a stronger line to your ability to hear, work with, honor God. How did you initially create that disconnection? Like, what was that like? Because I would imagine that for someone who has been so tapped into the world, that making those first few efforts to disengage may have had some difficulty. So what did you do?
Oh, good question. I hired a coach.
Okay.
I hired a coach because I know that where I wanted to go, I hadn't traveled that path yet.
Yeah.
So I needed someone who had obtained the peace, the serenity, the things that I was desiring, because I had reached so many goals. I was, happily married, all of those things, money in the bank account, but I would cry myself to sleep.
Right.
I'm facing a wall, crying myself to sleep. So I'm like, God, whatever I'm doing, I don't know how to get there on my own.
Yes.
And so I hired a mentor. My mentor and my coach, she showed me how to take a holy pause and how to be a little bit more selfish with my time, with my energy, and with my circle, with the people who I surrounded myself with, because I wasn't judged anymore for disconnecting. Oh, you didn't comment on my Facebook post. You didn't like me on Instagram. I was like, baby, I was on sabbatical. And so now my circle understands LaFlower will disconnect in a minute. Like, I don't feel rushed to respond to messages or to emails like immediately. Because back in the day, what happened to let me think about it? Let me pray about it. The culture that we live in now was like, I need you to respond right now. I need you to, if you don't respond right now, then you feeling some type of way about me. And so I had to change the people that were in my inner circle who understood how powerful sabbatical is, and pausing. And it's okay for me to go into my closet, into my quiet place, and go pray about some things. And my circle won't judge me if I don't have an immediate response to them.
That's it.
Nice. So we're going to take a quick break, if you do not mind, and then we're going to come back, sippers and spillers, and spend a little more time with Miss LaFlower. We'll be right back. What you like?
But until the break, how can we find?
That's good. Thank you.
How can we your social media information?
Oh, sure. You can go to LaFlowerBowie.com. I'm LaFlower Bowie on Twitter, on Instagram, and Facebook.
Okay. And how are you as far as coaching? Do they get your rates and the information about how to set that up with you in those places as well?
Right. Main thing is going to be on, just go to LaFlowerBowie.com. I offer a free session because I've come to the point and realized that the oil that I have to give is not for everybody. And so I give a free session to, whoever wants one. And in that session, we really feel if we can really accomplish some things together. And then after that, then I recommend if we need to do one-on-one sessions, group sessions, or if you would like to attend one of my retreats and things like that. So, but I'm a firm believer in it's not about the money. It's about how can we grow together? How can I help you reconnect, realign, and calibrate to who you were put here to be?
I didn't get to ask you, your book, when did you release that?
2019.
Okay. What was the title?
Got it right here, of course. No, it's called Principles to Reposition. Okay. And it's really about just my journey, the 8 principles that I used to really come out of a very dark place. Like I said, I had accomplished a lot of things, was married, had a great career and things, but I was just totally unhappy and just in a very dark place. And the principles that are in the book and the affirmations and things, they really helped me. But also in the book, there is an opportunity for you to have your morning glory time and your evening reflection. Again, I'm all about the pause. I'm about how you enter your day is important, and how you exit your day is even more important, because then you go into sleep, you go into rest. And so in the book, it gives an opportunity for you to have some journal opportunities as well.
And where can we find this? Is it on Amazon? And
you can find it on Amazon. You can order it on my website at LaFlower Bowie. So yeah, it's out there.
Awesome. Okay, so I think we're going to take a break now.
Yes.
Attention all divas, fashionistas, and ladies of style and sophistication. Lisa Danae's Diva Den is now open for your online shopping pleasure. We offer custom designs created exclusively for the Diva Den, including our Queen collection, specifically designed with you in mind. Choose from tees, tanks, hoodies, leggings, face masks, and home decor. Tired of those cookie cutter looks and boring styling options? The Diva Den can help you get your shine on. Visit us today at www.lisadene.com/divaden and tell them Stunner Radio sent you.
Awesome. So will you be with us today and hang out with us and have some conversation with us, Miss LaFlower? Do you mind?
Sure, if you guys will have me.
Not at all. So we're going to move into our hot tea segment. And this is kind of where we're discussing what the trending news was, what some of the trending topics were. And of course, one of the biggest things that happened historically and also just this week was the passing of the COVID relief bill. So wanted to talk to you ladies about some of your reactions to that. Specifically, were there any things that were included, provisions that were in the bill that you thought were interesting? So we're going to talk a little bit about the COVID relief bill that was passed this week under President Joe Biden, and just want to know, what are some of the provisions that you've noticed that you thought were great, and some of the other things that you may have wanted to share about this?
I think the greatest thing that I've seen so far, is something that I've never seen done, unprecedented, I think, is the monthly income they're giving to people with children, like from July to December as part of the child tax credit.
Yes.
I think that is awesome. Absolutely. I think that is awesome. I think somebody somewhere who knows what's really going on stepped in and put that in there, because I've never heard of them doing anything like that.
No.
I called my Uncle Joe and I told him the real, and he listened.
Oh, you were the one.
Yes.
It was her. It was
my uncle. I called Uncle Joe.
And they said that there's never been a situation where there has been automatic income that parents have been provided. So I definitely thought that was really dope as well. Anybody else? Anything else, Lisa, or anybody else?
Well, I think it was great that they did that as well, because like Lisa said, somebody was listening. We haven't been in a pandemic in a hot minute, right? It's not something that happens every 3 years, like the solar eclipse or such, so you can plan for it, like tornado season, you can plan for it. But they, from the first time that they dropped a stimulus check or whatever, they really, it looks like they really sat down and listened to what the woes were and the cries were of the people and tried to come up with something. I don't think any of them are going to be actually perfect for everybody, but at least they're moving in some type of direction that lets them know, hey, we heard y'all, and not only did we hear you, but we're gonna put action, we're gonna put it into play to let you know that we heard you and we got y'all, at least for right now.
And I love that it really is just cash to the parents to do what it is that they want to do. Like there were some where there were some examples on one show I was listening to. The guy was saying this could be something that, maybe a parent needs extra money to pay for daycare so that they can go to school, or I want to give my child violin lessons and I don't have it otherwise. And those were just really out of the box things that I hadn't even thought about, because of course we're thinking in terms of pandemic poverty. But when we're thinking going, down the line, when we're thinking, okay, on the other side of this, this just provides parents and families with resources that they otherwise would not have had and did not have prior to this, and they can use it in ways that are going to be meaningful for themselves and their children. So I really, really love that. One of the things that I thought was really cool was, and I didn't see it anywhere, even when I was doing my research, but it was a podcast that I listened to that was hosted by a Black man and a Black woman. And they pointed out that there was support for Black farmers that was added to this bill. That a provision that was aimed at benefiting farmers of color who are socially disadvantaged to move out of debt. So what has happened was historically, and I know that I don't know if you all watch Queen Sugar, but there, we've seen some sort of the plight of the Black farmer through the storytelling there. But what I kind of have begun to understand is that a lot of Black farmers were losing their land because they could not pay taxes, or they could not get the loans in time to get their resources so that they could have a harvest, which put them behind a year. And so on and on and on, there ended up being decades of indebtedness and just loss that these farmers have found. And so this provision is going to offer them billions of dollars. First, $4 billion would go toward covering up 120% of their outstanding debt if they have some related to their farm. $1 billion is designated for outreach, training, education, technical assistance, equipment, grants. $5 billion, y'all, specifically is earmarked for Black farmers.
So is this new farmers too? Can new farmers get in on it? Because I think about
doesn't matter what you're farming.
I mean,
and I farm whatever I want.
I just want to grow some cannabis.
I just want to grow some cannabis.
Texas,
okay?
Lisa. We're still in Texas.
And so
I got land elsewhere.
That's right.
That's what I'm talking about.
I thought this was huge because there have been lawsuits that Black farmers have been engaged in for 20, 30 years with the government because of how predatory some of these banks' practices were in terms of the lending for their dysfunctioning their farms. And so this, if you're going to say reparations and you're going to try to systemically make them, like, this is a great example of how, if people are saying they have an issue with people getting money, okay, well, for reparations, okay, I think this is a great way to say this is a specific group of people who have been specifically hurt by systemic racism. We're going to create this part of our bill in order to address this inequity. So that was my favorite part. I
think this is great. I mean, I think that the economic recovery, whatever they're calling it, the Pandemic Recovery Act, I don't know what they're calling it, but I'm just gonna say this is warm tea. Do we got any hot tea? Because it's still warm.
Oh, it's warm.
It's kind of warm to me.
You got some hot tea? Because all I got is Meghan and Harry and Oprah. That's all I got.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
I'm getting started. Everybody can take it straight to the tongue. If it's burned.
Ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want extra hot.
Forget the economic relief. We're going to go to the mess. So let's go. So how many of y'all, either by sitting down and watching it or because it's been across your screen since Sunday, have been, interested in what Meghan and Harry have had to say about their experiences with the royal family?
I'm definitely interested.
We are
Yeah.
interested.
Okay, so where y'all want to start? I'm gonna chime in.
So I was a couple of the videos that I've seen were Oprah's reaction when
Yes,
Megan told her that there was conversations and concern
that was my
about
favorite
how
part.
dark the children would come out.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, Oprah, come on. I love me some Oprah. Don't get like
Yeah.
twisted. But Oprah been around long enough to know that somebody somewhere was gonna have that conversation, whether in Megan's face or behind her back. So it really wasn't a surprise that when I heard her say it, I was surprised she actually spoke about it, because a lot of times they try to shut you down when you talk about stuff like that. They don't, you can't bring shame to us. We're the royals and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just really kind of surprised at Oprah's reaction. But I was like, come on, Ma, you knew.
Because Mama Oprah trying to let y'all know what they said. What
Exactly.
she wasn't like, I'm
Exactly.
shocked. She's like,
Exactly.
I'm gonna need y'all to understand. I don't like that.
And
That's
let
her
me,
way of saying to them
Right.
instead of saying what you say. I don't like that because she Oprah. So she
Right.
just was like, what? You know?
and I think it was a strategic move to draw attention for the folks who may not have caught it. Because if
Right.
somebody who is white, who is just like, oh, okay, over my head, of course they're going to talk. Or, you know what I'm saying? They just missed it. I think
Yes.
she punctuated it for a purpose.
Yes.
It's like, what? So
Yes.
that you can listen to how insane it sounds about an
Absolutely.
unborn. You know what I'm saying? I think that that's what I got out of a lot of her reactions, was just kind of like, now did y'all hear this? Because
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So
Right.
how much?
Go ahead.
I just want to say, how much do we love Harry though? How much do we love
Listen.
Harry?
Girl.
He can come to the barbecue.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now that's the
Harry got the
definition
part.
of leave your family and
And
cleave to your
please.
wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
She got it.
Yeah.
Right.
And I thought that it was really powerful that he said, I know I had a problematic past, but I've done my own work. And because of my relation, and I still was oblivious. He was like, I still didn't recognize this until I got into this relationship with this black lady.
Because
And
you're not black, so you
no,
wouldn't be.
no, but there, he believed that just by being not a little more knowledgeable, that he was going to see it all. And I think that once he got into her world and then had to recognize that his family was complicit in some of that. And I think my question was also, do you think he recognized any parallels between his mom and how they treated his mom and what he saw happening with his wife? And that could have been the switch.
Oh yeah.
I believe that. I definitely believe that. What I saw was a little snippet about what he said about how he's been living is off of what his mom left him because she saw it coming.
Got it.
And it just kind of goes back to making me feel like they killed her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's oh my goodness. And how he said that he had to do what a husband had to do to go out and protect his family.
Mm-hmm.
Because what Megan said, that she was informed that her son would not have protection and he would not have a title, along with the color, the question of the color of his skin. I mean, Harry had to see the parallels and make a move to protect himself, his wife, and his child.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But how powerful is white supremacy that you can just snatch somebody's title? Like, you can just say every other person in our lineage has had access to this, her royal highness, his royal highness.
Mm-hmm.
Because of this one situation, like his cousins, I just, how crazy is it that white supremacy can just be like, nah, no more. This ain't
That's
it.
an issue of white supremacy. I think that's the issue of organized, monarchies and organized religions, because the church do that too.
Right.
You know, they'll give you a title, and if you ain't living the way they think, they'll snatch it. So I don't think that's just white supremacy. I think that's any type of structure that lords over people and try to control people's lifestyle. They give these titles for that purpose, to have something to take away. Because other than that, what could they do?
Right. But they also mentioned the firm or the organization a lot during the interview. So that leads you to know that it's not just the family, the bloodline, because he mentioned that his brother's trapped.
Yeah.
They're trapped because of the organization, because of the firm.
Right.
I do remember hearing that. Yeah. Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
But my
And it
thing is, going back to the skin color thing, I think that it's a little bit ridiculous to begin with because Megan ain't dark. So
exactly.
how would you automatically even say that about this child? And let's talk about that for a second. Why are you okay speaking on anybody's child
Well, I
looking
mean,
like that?
I just feel like let's keep it real. For all the black people that's mad, y'all doing it in your own families though. Y'all worried about your own cousin, how dark their baby gonna be. And
Mm.
come on now. We do it to each other. So I was kind of irritated by people on social media telling me, oh, that's a shame. Black people do it to each other
all
Mm.
Look at the
all the
fingertips, look at the
time.
Right.
ears.
Right.
Yes,
That
and
as soon
then
as the
if
baby's
you
born.
marry somebody that's darker than you, what's your family saying? Oh, I wonder how dark that baby gonna be.
Mhm.
Yes.
So it's not like we don't know how this goes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
it's just the shock of people, you're assuming that these people are going to be a bit more discreet. I guess I think that's the assumption that people may have made. I know that I was shocked that it actually that they came to us, that they actually shared it, and that Tyler Perry was one of the people who was able to come to their aid. And I definitely wish I knew how that conversation went down. Like, who did they call first? I
Yeah.
just want to know who got the actual call, or did Tyler just call him and say, "I'm sending my plane and my keys"? So y'all, the bathroom in the back is under repair, but everything else is fair.
Well, I might be a cynic, but I think that it was a calculated move to come to us because to be real, who really was riding for Megan like that in the black community? I mean, some of us was, but not like they are now.
Yeah.
Now everybody riding for her. A
Yeah.
lot of people are riding for her that wasn't before. Because why? Because we looked at her as a white woman. If we want to just go on and keep it 100%, we didn't really look at her like one of us. We looked at her like a white woman who done married a prince. She was already rich when she married him. So, girl, you got rich people problems. Bye-bye. So
Right.
we wasn't really checking for her. So I
Right.
feel like it was strategic move on her part to come to us and go through the mother of all, Oprah. I
Oprah.
mean, we're gonna listen to Oprah,
Let
whatever
me
part
call
you
my
like with
mama.
Oprah, we
Mhm.
still gonna listen,
My
you
auntie.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was strategy and not to take anything away from her, but I think that she knew that if we knew that she was suicidal, if we knew that she had to experience racism in regards to her child, we would connect with her
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Because we were treating her like a white woman, and to know that
because
she
that's what
has the
she
same problems.
Did we even
because
really know who she was? Like, Suits was her show, and it literally wasn't until they became a thing that I even figured out who she was. So
Oh,
that's
I
a
knew who she was because I love Suits, but and when you come with stories like this, and she was willing to tell about the suicide and things like that. One, you have it was strategic. You have to make sure that the place you take that information to is a safe space, right? One that's comfortable. So it had to be Oprah. It couldn't be nobody else. It
right,
just
well,
couldn't.
plus, I mean, as you if you don't have black women writing for you, you don't got nobody.
right.
And we all know that because we can look at anybody that wins anything got black people supporting them, especially black women.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So for them to have leave the royal family, leave the protection of that, come and live in America, you need us. You got to have the sisters behind you.
Do you think it was necessary for her to be able to get back on TV and to be able to get back into Hollywood that way? It seemed like she kind of completely, when she was going into the royal family, it was like, all right, I'm willing to let all of this other stuff go so that I can be accepted by this new community. And now that they're not with her, now we need to get acceptance. We need to be reintroduced to the American, especially the Black community, so that we can now do Archwell and have all of these media things and make all of these connections. And I got Tyler, so that's another Black anchor. So do you think that this was a necessary step for her to become more palatable to us back in America now that she's home?
I guess because I've been a Megan follower, for me, no.
Okay.
When she got married, I was happy that, from the outside, their marriage looked like it was truly about love and not one of those.
Performative.
schedule type situations, so I don't think she had to, but it was still going to be needed
I don't
for
think she had to either,
the
because
mother.
we seem like we skip over the obvious. She is a white woman. She's a black woman only because we know who her mother is. If we
Right.
did not know who her mother is, we
Right.
would not be knowing that she's black.
You're
Right.
right.
So she didn't have to do any of that. Hollywood will still accept her because
You're
of
right.
how she looks.
Mhm.
So I think she did it because she knows she's bringing black children in this world.
Mhm.
And once they know you got one drop of black blood, you black.
Yes.
Right.
So, it's different when you have a black child. And I think that's what a lot of these celebrities have found out, like Kim Kardashian, all the Kardashians.
Mhm.
Once you have a black child, you really realize, okay, my child can be judged just because of their black, their
Right.
heritage.
Yeah.
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 Just because of her hair. Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't know. Yeah. Yeah. So, ladies, did you all have any hot tea that you wanted to bring to the table? I didn't get a chance to see if you all had anything that was burning that you wanted to
Mm-mm.
talk about. Lisa, what you got?
Why you talking
If
about the
Lisa
other
Gray
Lisa?
No,
comes
I'm
there with
talking
new
about you,
oil,
Lips.
I'm good.
I went to smiling because I was just gonna say, I just want to thank Uncle Joe for all his hard work to stimulate us and to bless us. And I just want to say to everybody who haven't been stimulated, just keep the faith.
Keep
He
the
said it's
Lisa got
coming.
stimulated. Lisa
And if
got
he say it's coming, it's going to come. It may not come when you want it, but it's going to be on time.
Amen.
well, that's enough.
Amen.
We had a word at the opening and a word at the closing. And at that, we're going to take a break really quickly. And we are going to wrap up after the break.
If you're looking for healthy meal prep, family style meals, or catering for your next event, look no further than the East Traveling Square Kitchen with Chef Square, Alan Phillips, specializing in soul food, family style dining, and southern flavor. Chef Square can adhere to dietary needs like keto and bariatric meal prep without compromising on taste. Take advantage of weekly meal plans like the Starter Pack, 5 meals for $75 with 3 entree choices. Additional meal plans and contact-free delivery is available. Contact Chef Square of the East Traveling Square Kitchen today at 832-495-8836 and tell them Stunner Radio sent you.
So we are black home.
Hey.
No. What your tea of the day was. Is that it? No, take this tea to go. Sorry about that. So with take this tea to go, we want to leave our sisters with a nugget. We want to give them something that they can chew on and is going to sustain them through the week, or some sort of word that can carry them forward that will help motivate them. So, ladies, what sort of encouragement do you have for our listeners this week? Remember, we're all over the globe, all over the world. What do you have for our ladies and gentlemen? So I will let anybody jump in. Oh, Lisa, the boss lady, you are on there first.
What I want to say is, accept your
No.
uniqueness. I don't know if that's a word. accept your uniqueness. Accept the difference that's in you, because everybody has something, that one thing, about them that's different. Some of us call it a flaw, but a flaw is a unique identifying characteristic. So I challenge you to be proud of your flaw. My flaw, my blessing and my curse is my big heart. It could definitely be a blessing, but it can also be a curse. But what I do is I lead with that. And to me, that's a compliment. Me being friendly, me being that person, me, sometimes I am a little naive, but me being that Pollyanna, that's my flaw, and I flaunt my flaw proudly. So what I challenge everybody to do is find your unique thing that's yours, that's just yours, and be proud of it. Look in your mirror every day and be proud of who you are.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Miss Mimi.
And it's me. Well, actually, I just want to give a shout out to remind people we're shut down, not shut out in this pandemic of a thing. And then give a shout out to all the people who have started something, right? And then also for those who just survived. You know, people have lost things, people have had to disconnect on purpose or otherwise, but we're still here. So giving a shout out to you and letting everybody know you're awesome and you rock. And every now and again, like Sister said earlier, take a break, stand in the mirror, take, and remind yourself, I'm awesome. I am in love with me. I think I got that from Lisa in one of our conversations. I'm in love with me. Be in love with yourself. Know that you're awesome and you are worthy of the air that you breathe.
Well, I'm going to say take this tea to go. This is my tea for you to take to go. Love yourself more than any situation, than any job, than any material. Love yourself more. Do not compromise the love you have for yourself for anything. And you can really increase your self-love through a relationship with God. I know everybody's not religious, but you don't have to be religious to know God. So I would encourage people to seek God so that God can show you yourself, because sometimes the image we have of ourselves has been given to us by other people.
Mhm.
But when God show you yourself, you can't help but love yourself, because you're wonderful. You're beautifully made by God. So that's my tea. Get in that mirror, like Miss Mimi said, and y'all know I love looking at my cellulite. Get in that mirror, bucket, and I mean bucket naked. Get in there and look at that cellulite, baby, and love it. Love it, because when you love yourself more than any situation, you cannot be in an abusive situation. So that's heavy on my heart right now. So I just want to encourage people to love themselves.
Oh my gosh, you ladies are so amazing. My tea to go would be, I think Miss Mimi said it, is that you are worthy. You are worthy of everything that is yours by divine right. But I challenge you this year to make sure that your words and your actions are congruent.
Yes.
There's an amazing song, I believe, that said, walk it like you talk it.
All right. Walk it like you talk it. Hey.
Pastor.
And so my tea is to extend yourself to be a friend this week. Extend yourself to lend an ear, to find out if there's a way that you can help, to find out if there is something that you can do that will bring a little bit of light to someone else, because you would be amazed at how much light it brings to you and how much you are able to draw and attract to yourself as a result. So with that, this has been an outstanding show. Thank you so much, Miss LaFlower, for being here today. I cannot wait to have you back. I look forward to seeing the impact that Principles to Reposition is going to have on our lives. I'm definitely interested in checking that one out. So thank you for your time. Thank you, Lisa, the boss lady, for introducing us to this wonderful gem, this flower. And we are so thankful for you. So awesome. Ladies, have a great week. Listeners, join us on the page this week. Y'all have a good one. Take care. We love you, and peace.
When I was 8, my mom died from domestic violence. My whole world flipped upside down. A lot of people turn away to say that's not my business. They're two adults. I'm not going to get in it. And what's real is talking about it. It's about accountability. It's time for us to get off the sidelines. Go to nomore.org.
Tax season is upon us, and it can be very stressful, but you don't have to go it alone. Contact Unlimited Taxes and More, the PRESA edition, for a unique filing experience, because every taxpayer is different. You can receive the maximum refund legally due to you, accurate and transparent tax returns, reasonable fees, cash advance instant approval, 24-hour e-filing, and much more. And to ensure your health and safety, they offer mobile tax services. That's right, they come to you to do your taxes. So don't settle for less this tax season when you can get 24-hour tax support and audit protection from the IRS. Let Erica, the PRESA, and her certified tax team service you today. Get Presatized at www.unlimitedtaxes.com. Select the PRESA edition, and don't forget to mention Stunner Radio sent you.